guys, welcome to Stryker TV. As promised, today is the very long awaited modification list of Stryker. Stryker is my 2021 Can-Am Ryker 900 Ace. First thing I can point out, I guess, is the decals I've done. I made all of these myself, except for that one. That one is the stock one, but all the rest of them I actually made myself. These ones I didn't actually wind up cutting on the machine. I cut those out by hand and laid them on because I wanted to have a marbleized look, and I didn't want it to look like it was actually cut by a machine. I wanted it to look random, so I just did that by hand. The front on the hood, this QR code will actually go to my Instagram page, and that's a brand new hood, so I'm waiting on the logo to come in. Maybe I'll do an installation of that. That'll be a super quick one. But actually I hit a pothole not too long ago, and it actually unclipped the two clips in the front. Here comes the train. This is gonna keep happening. This is what happens when you live in New York. So yeah, the actual clips came unclipped when I hit the pothole. I didn't realize the next stop sign I got to, the hood flew off and scraped across the ground, and it got all screwed up, so I had to buy a replacement. So that's the replacement. The logo should be coming in soon. Next thing here, I did the Baja Run end links here. It's kind of hard to see in there. It's getting dark now too. Those made a huge difference. I know a lot of people on the groups say that they don't notice a difference, but most of the people that I've seen that say they don't notice a difference have a rally. So it could be just the suspension of the rally versus the 900. You can't really tell much difference in the rally, but in the 900 I could tell immediately when I put them on how much more aggressive I could be with this bike while it's still holding its own. The next thing I did were these little end caps. I mainly just didn't want to get water in there, and didn't like the look of just the open hole. So I got these plugs on Amazon. Somebody on the group recommended them. You just have to cut out a little notch for the ring to go in, and then pop them in, and they've been solid since then. I got it like the week I got the bike, and they've never come out since. What else did I do? One of my favorite mods I did was the jockey shifter from Sling Mods. This thing, not even just for the actual function of it, but I think it looks super aggressive. It makes the bike stand out a lot more with that big jockey shifter on the side. I might do a shift knob sometime in the future, but we'll see. I did the billet aluminum emergency brake. One of the best things about this that I didn't know going into it, I mean, obviously it's much more sturdy if somebody is like really messing with it and you actually have it locked. The plastic one I don't think would be too hard to break if I'm being honest, and if you're really trying. But one of the best benefits about the billet aluminum that I haven't heard anyone talk about yet is if you do have this lock and you have the plastic one, you have to kind of line it up before that lock will go in the correct position. The billet aluminum one, you push it all the way to the top and it locks every time. You don't have to mess with it. You don't have to move it back and forth. It goes in every time. All I wear on my rides are Vans, so I had to get some Vans grips. These are actually getting super hard to find now. A lot of Harley guys are installing these, and I think Vans actually stopped making them a while ago. So some companies will say they have them in stock, and then you go to buy them and they say they don't actually have them in stock. But I actually found a set on eBay, installed those. I installed a quad lock. I think that's the best lock for any bike, motorcycle, hike, anything that you're doing. This thing is solid. Nothing's going anywhere. I looked at those Ram mounts and they just looked a little too flimsy to me. I didn't like them. One of the last things I did actually was change out this lever to the black lever. It comes with a blue, and as you can see, I like black. I like everything black, so with that blue there, it kind of just like stuck out like a sore thumb. So I wanted to change it, and then they just made colors, so now I put that black lever on it and makes it look much cleaner. You could barely even tell it's there. And yeah, and when you mount your phone to that, I mean, it's not going anywhere. I did the comfort seat. This is actually the driver comfort seat. One of the biggest benefits, other than looking better and feeling a bit better, it doesn't feel a whole world of a difference better than the stock seat, but the stock seat is just foam. This at least has some more structure and rigidity to it. But yeah, on longer rides, you still feel it, you know what I mean? It's not like the most comfortable thing I've ever sat on in the world. But one of the best things that I've never heard anyone talk about online about having a comfort seat is when it comes to washing the bike. I come over, I pop it off, wash the bike, dry the bike, pop the seat back on, and I don't have a wet seat. I don't have to sit in wetness or wait for it to dry, especially on colder days. It takes a little while to dry. So that's one of the best things about having a comfort seat. One of the worst things about having a comfort seat as well, because if somebody does know about that, they could potentially steal your seat. I've seen a couple of people on the Facebook group say that actually happened to them, but here's, you know, hoping that doesn't happen. Here's another train, because we're in New York and everything's trains. If you didn't know, I'm in New York. The next thing I did was the max mount. Now the max mount I got just to have the passenger seat, really. The look of it is, I like it sometimes, other times I don't, because it kind of makes it look unfinished when that seat isn't on there. I might actually wind up getting a cowl, one of the cowls they sell later. But they're super expensive for just a piece of plastic, so I didn't pick that up yet. This thing is super expensive and very finicky. That's all I'll say, because I might actually have an installation video on this. Might not. We'll see. The lighting was terrible when I installed it. Not sure if I could salvage that, but if I can, I'll put that up. I'll just quickly go over what the issues were. So these screws for the actual foot pegs, so the holes that you actually need to put these screws in are actually drilled and tapped already from factory, and one of mine was stripped from factory. None of the screws that came with the kit would go in at all. Another issue is they tell you to torque these two bolts. They tell you to torque these when you install the max mount, not telling you that if you're gonna put a seat on, you actually have to put another plate on the inside, and when you go to put that plate on the inside, these need to be loose. They can't be torqued. So if you already torqued them, now you have to back them out, and this one actually stripped when I tried to back it out. So I had to back out the other side super carefully, then finally was able to get that bracket in there, and then I retorqued everything. But yeah, their instructions are just a little ridiculous when you think about, I mean, most people that are installing a max mount are installing it so they can put the seat, and they don't actually tell you or give you that piece unless you buy this seat. They just give you the max mount and tell you to torque everything. What else? I did these decals on the back as a checkerboard pattern. I'm not in love with it. I just really did it because, sorry, there's another train. Yay, trains. So I actually just did it because a friend of mine was putting his foot over to get on the bike and wound up kicking it with his foot and gave it a little bit of a mark there, so I just put those on to make it look a little bit better. In the future I might do a chop altogether, or I might do the rally fender, but I'll have to think about it. I'm not sure. If I did either one, I'd probably have to get the piece that actually goes underneath here, just so that rocks and water and debris don't come shooting through these holes when there's not a seat on there. I do have the comfort seat for the rear for when I do have a passenger, but I don't leave it on always because you can just pop it off and take it, and that's like a $400 seat, so I don't leave it on unless I'm planning on having a passenger. Other than that, if I'm not forgetting anything, which I probably am, that's all I've done so far. I do think I'm gonna do an exhaust soon. I might do the headers as well, but we'll see. Gotta come up with some money before I can do either one of those. If you do need a helmet, or you're in a market for a helmet, I highly recommend a Ruroc Atlas. A lot of people are fighting about this helmet right now online. You know, a lot of people saying it's not worth the money, it's not a quality product, it's not a premium product, things like that. I absolutely love this helmet. I've had probably 10 or 12 helmets because I've had 9 or 10 bikes, and every time I get a new bike, almost every time, I wind up getting another helmet that matches the bike, jacket that matches the bike. I had a nice helmet when I bought this bike, and I was going to continue using that one, but it actually wound up starting to cut the back of my head because the inside of that helmet wasn't very quality either. So I had to stop using that one, and I took a risk, bought an Atlas 2.0, and I've been in love with this helmet since I got it. I'm not getting paid to say that. I'm not getting, you know, I didn't get this helmet for free. I didn't get my other Atlas 2.0 for free. I have a core, and I have a carbon, and a raw carbon, and I paid for both of them, and I absolutely love this helmet. The field of view on it is one of the best I've ever had. Probably a little bit, I would say a little bit better than my Icon variant, and the Icon variant has a really good field of view. Just for me, this field of view is perfect. I mean, I don't feel like I'm constricted or I can't see anything. The pin lock system is perfect. This is the first helmet that I actually installed the pin lock system on, and it works really well. It keeps the fog out of the helmet. There goes another train, yay! That one's going to Stanford. Anybody need the train to Stanford? So yeah, the pin lock system, if you guys don't know what the pin lock system is, it's actually it's almost like when you get double pane glass in your house. It's another piece of plastic that goes inside of the shield that keeps fog and stuff like that from fogging up the shield. The other thing I love about it, obviously, the integrated audio system, the shockwave. It's fantastic. I mean, I hear a lot of people talking about saying it's not loud enough, or the helmet's too loud, they can't hear the music. I don't know what volume they want to listen to music on, bike on, but I mean, I can hear my music clearly. When I call people, they can hear me clearly, I can hear them clearly. I mean, obviously I'm not going to be on the highway going 95 trying to take a conversation like I'm at the office. You know what I mean? It's there for what it's there for. When you're around cruising, around town, you can hear people, they can hear you. When you're on the highway, it's a little bit harder to hear, but you can hear them and they can hear you. I actually had a passenger on my bike this past weekend, and I linked the two helmets together, and we were talking on the highway going 80 the whole entire way, and we could hear each other clearly. We didn't have to scream, we didn't have to shout. So like I said, I mean, I know that's a long rant, but a lot of people are giving this company a lot of crap right now, and I feel it's not they shouldn't be. I mean, this is a great helmet. I love this helmet. I might actually have a 3.0 coming out soon. We'll see what happens. Like I said, the liner, yeah, a lot of people complain about the liner, saying that it's not quality, it's not premium. It could be softer, I'll give them that. It could be softer, and the actual cheek pads could have a little more structure and rigidity, but I actually like the fact that it's not too constrictive, because it doesn't wind up pushing my cheeks up and wind up pushing my face in, so I can't talk or chew without actually biting my own cheek. a couple of other helmets that I've had have done that. And yeah, I just really like the helmet. If you're in the market for one and you like the style of it, that's one of the main things I love about this helmet. It's the aggressive look of it. Not many companies right now have unique looking helmets. I mean, if you line up Bells and Icons and Shoeis, and if you line up all of those companies' helmets in a row, you wouldn't be able to pick one from the other. This has a very iconic look, a very, you know, unique look. So if you're in the market, I'd give it a try. I really love my Ruroc Atlas, and I just have simple Alpine Stores. What model are these now? SMX1 Air V2 gloves. I had some Icons before this, but they actually wound up shrinking. I took them in the rain and they got soaked, like super soaked. I left them out, didn't actually like try and dry them or anything. They were already like, you know, maybe 5-6 years old, and I left them out. When they dried, they actually wound up shrinking, and I couldn't get my hands back in them, so I got these instead. There goes another train. This one going to Grand Central. Anybody going to Grand Central? So yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's getting dark now. I don't know if you can even see the bike anymore, but this channel is brand new. I'm not really sure what direction I'm taking this channel in. I wanted to do some moto vlogs. I have a mount for my helmet and it works really well, but you can't hear me, so I actually wound up buying a microphone and a microphone attachment to my camera so that you could hear me, but that didn't wind up working. So I don't know, I might buy another mic and see if that works. But if anything, I'll have to figure out another way to do some moto vlogs. I'd rather do some moto vlogs because I'm out on this thing almost every day, and that's when I'm really thinking about you know, what I want to talk about this bike. Also in the future, I'm going to do some more likes and dislikes about not only the bike, but about the parts that I put on the bike, things I do like about it, things I don't like about it, things like that. My dad has a 2015 Polaris Slingshot, and I go riding with him every once in a while, so we might actually do a ride together. I'll talk about his Slingshot and about this, but that all depends, again, if I could get the moto vlogging to work. But yeah, I mean, this channel is new. If you could give it a like and a subscribe, I'd appreciate it. If you have any questions about the bike or about anything, just drop it in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And thanks for watching.